Testing. 1, 2, 3. How's it going, guys? We'll begin in the next couple of minutes. Let's give it, let's give it 5 minutes. Start at 11 and we shall begin. I'm just getting everything sorted. Mic, testing 1, 2, 3, testing 1, 2, 3, just making sure that's working. Let me just, this mic is working. Okay, awesome. Mic is working. Just gonna quickly check my video and then we'll begin the next 5 minutes. Hope everyone is good. Hope everyone is well. Let me just make sure my video is working. Let's see here. Yeah, I think it should be working now. Aha, there we go. Okay, perfect. How's it going, guys? I hope everyone is well. Welcome to the What's Working Right Now session number 5. We're going to begin in the next 4 minutes. So yeah, I don't even have water. I don't even have coffee, so it's okay. I'll be strong for the next hour or so. But you guys still have time. We're going to begin officially at 11:05. So if you don't have water, if you don't have something to nibble on, I highly suggest go ahead and get it. This is going to be a massive changer today. So if you don't have a notepad, get yourself a notepad and pens. I'm going to be dropping a lot of bombs, a lot of nuggets. Today, we're going to be breaking down everything step by step, which I'm really and truly excited for. Because I get this question almost every single time I engage with a lot of you guys is, how does it work? And I always have to try and find a way to help you guys visualize it. So I was like, you know what, let me actually just do it step by step. Let me actually show you how it's built, just so that at least you guys can really see, okay, how does it work? How does AI find the right people? How does AI qualify these people? And you can also really get to see a little bit more into the design process. So tonight, guys, I'm dropping bombs tonight. Like, I think a lot of people would typically say, why would you give away everything? Why would you give away your secret sauce? Well, for me, guys, I think it's about contributing. That's one of my biggest themes for this year, contribution. So I was like to myself, this year I'm going to contribute as much as possible. And if it means I need to give away everything, what I know, I'm happy to do that. So do not take this lightly, guys. This information I'm going to be giving you has taken me years to figure out, years to get right. And you're going to get it all in the space of about an hour. Now, in a sense, how do I say it? I've condensed as much as possible for you guys to also understand it. There's more parts to it. So in today's session, I've condensed it, but you'll still get as much value as possible in today's video. Otherwise, we'd be here for 8 hours if I had to go through each and every single little detail. But I will say that today's session, we're going to get started, guys, in the next 2 minutes for those who've just joined. I will say this will be the best video you've ever watched in terms of understanding the mechanics behind everything. And I'm going to explain it in a way where everyone can understand, even to a point where my 11-year-old daughter would be able to understand. So welcome, guys, to What's Working Right Now. This is session number 5. I do this every single Thursday at 11 o'clock. And as I was just saying earlier on, my focus now is just contributing. Like, contribution for me is just a big part. So I want to give back as much as possible. And this is just 8 years of everything that I know, which I'm going to put in the next hour or so. So if you don't have a drink, don't have a notepad, go get that right now. We're going to begin in the next, let's see, okay, 45 seconds. But can you guys hear me well? Maybe just give me a thumbs up, anyone, just so I can see whether you guys can hear me, unless maybe I'm talking to myself. Hopefully not. Okay, Rebecca, awesome. Thanks for that, Tato. Thank you for that. Cindy, how's it going, man? Glad to see you here. And all right, awesome. So, okay, let's see who's quickly in the room. Let me give you guys all a shout out. Big shout out to Rebecca, Simon, Linda, Khomotso, Cindy. How's it going? Victoria, hope you're well. I hope you're good. Let me see. We've got Bevan in the house. We've got Gilbert in the house. Kayalet, we've got you in the house. And Tato in the house. Welcome, guys. And I hope you guys are well. It's a beautiful Thursday. So let's dive in. All right, so what I'm going to do for today's session, if you haven't seen last week's session, it is on my YouTube channel. I'll put all that towards the end. So last week, what I did was I covered really helping you guys understand really why more effort this year is not going to work. Okay, we've now got systems that are going to make our lives a lot easier. The same way you can go onto the Checkers60 app and get your groceries and it's delivered for you while you're sitting at home is the same process that you can utilize with what I'm going to show you guys today, where you can literally just build a system, click a button, and now you have conversations with the right sellers and buyers on your phone without ever having to pick up a phone, without ever having to leave your house and go and chase stock or hunt for enemy stock, or do show houses or waste your time with buyers that aren't necessarily interested. So I'm going to walk you through in an hour how to actually build this out yourself, just so you can actually see how it works. But if you're smart and you're like, nah, Wandile, I want you to do this for me, we'll talk about that a bit later. All right, cool. So let me quickly share my screen and then we shall dive straight into it. Okay, cool. So let me do this here quick. So what I've decided to do for you guys is I'm going to zoom in. Don't worry if you can't see it. If you are using your phone, then I'd highly just suggest make sure that you can maybe just position your phone in a way where you can see the full screen. I'd highly suggest just flip your phone just like this, just so you can see everything more in a landscape perspective. And then how I'm going to structure today's session is I have written down 10 steps. So these are 10 steps that if you follow them, right, this is a condensed version, as I said, but if you follow these 10 steps, you'll be able to then build and create your own machine. And that's the whole purpose. And I'm going to be following these 10 steps today so that you guys can actually see me take these 10 steps to really get an idea in terms of how everything works. So my core focus for today is setting up the ad process, which is what I would say is like, I'd say it's about maybe 70% of the work. The other 30% is having a system that will be able to track all the leads and then the follow-ups and then just making sure that the automatic WhatsApp is sent. So that is what I would say takes up 30%. But that we'll probably do next week if you guys want me to cover that. But today I really wanted to cover the core aspect of how to actually set this up. So cool, enough with all the yapping, let's get started. All right, cool guys. So in today's session, what I'm going to be covering is this section here, the ads in the funnel process. And in last week's session, I did break this down in detail. But now today, I'm actually going to be building all of this for you guys. So it's not just fancy screenshots, right? But now you can actually see how everything is built step by step. All right, cool. So here is the 10-step process, and I'm going to cover it right now. Highly suggest get you guys a pen and a pad. Let's begin. Cool. So first thing, guys, and the first step is that you want to create your business page on Meta. Now, for those who don't know, we like to run Meta ads, which is basically Facebook and Instagram and WhatsApp. So we like to run Facebook-based ads just purely because, just for a brief one, I'm not going to dive too deep into it, Facebook has the most data on all of us because it's been around for so long and it's tracked all of our activity from the time we've signed up. So it knows where you stay, where you go to for work, how often do you drive, how often are you away from home. It knows everything about you. So that when we are trying to run ads to homeowners who've maybe been looking at property or people are looking at buying property, it knows exactly who to target, and that's why we use it. So what I'm going to quickly do is I'm going to quickly go onto my business page. Let me actually switch it up. For those who don't have a page, if you already have a page, great. But I'm trying to help those who maybe don't have one, because this could definitely help. So, okay, cool. So now we're on my, what we call my Facebook. This is my personal profile, right? We all have a personal profile. That's what happens when you sign up to Facebook. But we need to create a business page. So there's a difference between the two. Now, to create your business page, I'm literally just going to show you the simple steps and then we need to move forward. Otherwise, we're going to be here for 8 hours, right? So if you want to create your business page, it's very simple. Once you have your once you're on your personal profile on Facebook, then what you want to do is that there's 2 ways you can do it, but this is the simplest way. Right over here, this menu button, you want to select that baby there, and then you see where it says create. You want to come here and then select page. So once you click on that button, page name. What I would highly suggest is add your first name and let's say an initial of your last name or your full last name, depending how long it is. And then most of my clients, I always like to advise them to say real estate professional or professional property practitioner, etc., etc. Now, here's the thing. You can add in your agency name, but the problem is, remember, if you don't own that company, or if anything happens in future, let's say you jump in between agencies, it's not to say it's not possible, but we want to prevent any situation where Facebook might not allow you to change your name. All right, that's happened with some of my clients. So always just keep it very simple like that. And then make sure your category is estate agent, for example. You can just tap that in and then you can select that. Add in a bio. Bio, the biggest hack or the tip I'll tell you is who's your niche, who are you serving, what market are you working on? So you could say, hi, my name is Wandile, I'm serving the Alberton market, helping homeowners and buyers find their dream house, for example. That's a very simple bio. And that's something that you can utilize in there. Then select create page. Now, I'm not going to go into in terms of adding in your profile picture. That's very simple. But for those who don't have a page, that's how you can create your page. And then it's done. Okay. So that's the first step. So the first step is then creating your business page. Now, once you have a business page and it's up and running, okay, now what you want to do is that you want to go to business.facebook.com. Now, why is that the case? Because we want to then go to the business side of Facebook where we can then run targeted ads for our business. So there's two ways to go through it or to get to it. You can either then just type in a URL, business.facebook.com, okay, or you can access it through your personal profile. So let me show you the two ways. So let me just quickly come back here. Oh, okay, I'm actually there now. So let me just close this here, leave page. Okay, so let's say you're on your personal profile, right? All you just need to do is you see where it says account and this bottom arrow, select that, and then your page will typically pop up here. So you see we've got Wandile Mr. W, and then there's these arrows that just alternate. You'll just click on that, and then it's going to automatically switch to your page. That's the easiest way for you to get to your page, for example. Just an easy hack. Now, if you want to get to the business suite, now that I'm on my page, right, this is my personal page. See, I even get confused with these things. This is my business page, right? Now that I'm on my business page, if I want to get to the business suite, remember, as I said, we want to go to business.facebook.com, right? So that's one option. So you can literally type this in. You can literally just go to www.business.facebook.com, and then it's going to take you to the Meta Business Suite. Or the other option is you can do this, right? So as soon as you're on your business page, and the difference you can find is when you're on your business page, you'll see on the left side, it will show professional dashboard, ads manager, ads center. Now you know you're on the business side. You see where it says Meta Business Suite? If I select that, now it's going to take me to the business side of Facebook. And this is the dashboard, right? It's a very simple dashboard. It's going to show you all that you need to know. So it's going to show you your data. So you can see there's 7.5 followers there, and then my Instagram, and then the comments on my posts. And then it's more a dashboard of you managing your content. You can publish content here. It's going to show you what content you've posted. So you see here, it's showing the different stories that I've posted on my Instagram, my Facebook, and shows what time. It also shows you the data. There's very interesting information you can get from this. I'm not going to tap too much into that for now because I want to get into the meat and potatoes of the actual process. But in order for you to create your ads, you need to be here on the Meta Business Suite, right? So now if we had to go back to the tab over here, now that we're on the Meta Business Suite, step 3 is that you want to select all tools and then go to the Ads Manager. So let's go back here. So now that we're here on the Meta Business Suite, you see where it says all tools, all right? We're going to select all tools, and then we want to select Ads Manager. So you see my Ads Manager is there because I typically go to it all the time. But if it doesn't pop up, which most likely it won't, then where you'll be able to find it is under Advertise. You see there's all these different headings. Under Advertise, you then want to select Ads Manager. And then normally that will be able to pop up. Select that option over there. And then what's going to happen is that this is going to populate, right? So now that this is populated, what you're now going to see is your dashboard. This is where the meat and potatoes, where the magic happens, guys. This is where the actual magic happens, okay? So for example, let me just quickly close this here. Let's go back to the instructions, just so at least I'm not skipping any steps and you guys can see what's happening. Okay, so cool. We selected all tools and then the Ads Manager. So now the next step is that we want to select create ad, and then we want to choose a lead generation ad objective. So let me just show a lead ad objective, for example. So let's come here. All right, cool. So now I'm here, okay? So now I'm here and I want to create my very first ad. Okay. So now in order for me to create my very first ad, there's this button here, create. That's the easiest way to do it. So if I select create, then what we want to do is that we want to select an objective. Remember, as I said, we want to select the lead ad objective. So this is the ad objective that we want to use. Skip everything else, guys. If you don't use a lead ad objective, it's not going to turn out really well for you. So I always suggest select the lead ad objective, right? Because we want to collect leads for our business or for our brand, okay? So once you select the lead option, then you want to click on continue. And then after that, let's go back to the steps so that we're going in sequential order. I don't want to miss out on anything for you guys. So cool. Step number 5 is that you want to then name your campaign and then select a budget strategy. So let's come back here. Let's go back here. Okay, cool. So now that I selected creating a lead ad, this is what you're going to see. So this is what I would say is your campaign level. There's 3 levels. There's a campaign level, there's an ad set level, and then there's an ad level. The best way I can explain it is you want to imagine a folder, right? Oh, there we go. Facebook actually even has it, right? So imagine a big folder. You know, a flip file. Remember back in the day, we used to have those flip files or those big folders, right? So you've got your big arch. Let's say your was it the A5 arch? You know, those old school folders, right? You've got the big folder, and then you've got the paper that's inside, right? Where we had to forgot that machine that would punch the holes in it, then you put it inside that folder, right? Then you've got the paper, and then inside that paper, let's say, for example, you've got information in that paper. So the best way I can explain it, and I'm doing the best I can to help you guys understand, is that when you're creating a campaign on Facebook, these are the 3 levels that are of absolute importance. You have to follow the step-by-step process and understand it. So remember, the campaign is the folder, the ad set is the actual paper that you put in, right? And then the ads is the information that you see in the paper. Okay, hope that is a bit clear so that you guys can see. All right, so now I'll walk you guys through in terms of what each process or what each level is focused on. So as I mentioned in here, you want to name your campaign and then select the budget strategy. So how Meta works, right? This is like a machine, right? So it's like the machine wants to know, okay, cool, you want to do a lead generation campaign. Perfect. So the best way to create a lead generation campaign is we need this information in order for us to know exactly what you want so we can give you what you want. All right. So now we're trying to tell Meta what exactly we want. So from a campaign level, this is the information that we need to give to Meta so that they understand exactly what information we're trying to give it, so it knows exactly what is our goal. So let's call the campaign name. I always like to call the overall objective of the campaign. So let's say it's a seller campaign. Seller campaign, let's say January. Let's do that there. I typically like to name it seller campaign, and then I'll maybe just add in the month. Okay, so now Meta knows, okay, cool. The campaign name is seller campaign, and the goal or the name, or we're going to be launching in Jan, for example. Now, the next thing is very important. So if you take a look here, what did I say? Select budget strategy. So there's 2 budget strategies you can utilize. I don't want to confuse you guys too much, so I'll just explain it in a way that you guys can understand. There's 2 ways. You can either do a campaign budget or an ad set budget. I always say use a campaign budget because then it's going to distribute your budget to the best ads that are performing, as opposed to an ad set budget where it's going to then charge you more because you are now going to be running ads across different ads and they're going to charge you for each ad. So what I like to do, I like to, let's say, for example, test, let's say 5 ad sets. So I'll just to help you guys understand, I would like to run as many ads as possible and then tell Meta, this is my budget every day. Go and find me the best ad. And then once you find the best ad, put as much budget as you can on that winning ad. You see, that's more effective, as opposed to me running 10 different ads and I'm paying, let's say, 10 Rand for each 10 different ads. Now, that doesn't mean just because I'm putting money on that ad, that each ad is going to perform. No, that's the thing about Meta. You can put budget on each ad and some might not perform. And if you're looking at the Pareto principle, the 80-20, 80% of the ads aren't going to work, but 20% will. So that's why with me, I like to run 10 different style types of ads when I'm testing. And then Meta will put an equal budget on each one. And then once it finds the top 2 or the best one, it's going to take all the budget and then put all that budget onto that one ad. So instead of Meta then doing 10 Rand on each ad in the beginning, it's going to do that in the beginning, and then it's going to find the best ad. And then it's going to stop putting budget on those ads that are not performing and put 100 Rand straight into that ad. And then that's when a lot of our clients tell us to stop running the ads because they get a lot of leads afterwards. So that is campaign budget. When you're running ads so that Meta can find the right budget or the right ad for you. I hope I've explained it. Yeah, I'm even learning how to find ways to explain this in detail for you guys. So always select campaign budget, don't select ad set budget. Now you want to select the daily budget. I always like to recommend to my clients $100 a day. So for example, it all depends on how long you're going to be running the ads for. So let's say, for example, if you're running it for 5 days, then it's only going to be $500. But I always like to say, keep it running at $100 a day, and then you switch off when you feel, it's a bit too much for you. So $100 a day, awesome. And then that's that, right? You can leave special ad categories. I'm not going to speak about that today. It's just going to be a bit confusing for you guys. So we'll just leave that as that. So, okay, cool. Then we're going to go next. So now that we've got next, remember, we focused on the campaign, which was the file. Now we're going into the actual paper in the file, right? So now this is the ad set. So if I come back here onto the step, you want to name your ad set and then select conversion location. So now the best way I can explain an ad set is everything. This is where I would say this is one of the most important aspects of when you're running an ad, is because now you're really telling the machine exactly what you want, right? So that it can give you what you want. So for example, I like to name my ad sets, and you'll see what I mean. So for example, we're targeting Alberton, for example, today, right? So Alberton, I'll call it Alberton, and let's say I'll just call it 5 miles. Yeah, 5 miles. So when I say 5 miles, that's going to be the targeting I'm going to do on Alberton as an example, all right? So now I'm going to name it. And then if we go back here, what does it say? Select conversion location. So what does that mean? Meta wants to find out, for example, where do you want to generate the leads? Do you want to generate leads through your website? Do you want people to call you? Do you want people to WhatsApp you? Boom, boom, boom. Or send you a message on Instagram? You want to select instant forms. You can select WhatsApp, but this option, it's a bit complicated, trust me, because it's not the best option. And I'll walk you guys through how we set it up for WhatsApp. So the best option for now is instant forms. So then once you select instant forms, then you want to select your page, because now it wants to find out, okay, what's the page you want to promote? So let's come here. As you guys see, you guys have got 90 pages here. So I think I think I've got an estate agent page there. Okay, there we go. Select your page, make sure you've set the terms, and then you want to select the performance goal. I didn't actually add this in, but I'll just let you guys know. So there's two options. You can maximize your number of leads, or you can maximize the number of conversion leads. I like to select conversion leads because then it's going to show your ads most likely to people who are going to convert, right? Most people are most likely going to share their contact information with you. So once you select that, now you're good to go. So let's go back to the step. Okay, cool. So the next step is you want to add a duration of your ad. So how long do you want your ad to run? And then location targeting, where we're going to be targeting the right people here. So let's go back here. Okay, awesome. So you're just going to scroll down. Guys, skip this. Don't worry about data set. Don't worry about dynamic creative. Don't worry about catalogs. Ignore all that. And now we come into budget and schedule, right? So remember, we put the budget at about $100 a day, right? So now Meta knows. Cool. Now it wants to find out, when do you want to launch your ad and how long do you want your ad to run for? So I always like to run my ads on Mondays. Mondays, I've just seen work really well. And then we always launch our ads at 6 o'clock. Now, you can send an end date, but this is what I always like to tell my clients not to do that. You can actually switch off your ads manually. And I actually suggest you do that. The reason why is because this has happened multiple times where maybe I'll have a client who sets a date. Let's say they wanted to run on Monday and then they wanted to end on Friday, for example, right? So now it's running for 5 days. But then during these 5 days, they're getting so many leads. They're getting so many hot clients. They're getting so many mandates. Everything is crazy, right? But then guess what? The ad is finishing on Friday and there's nothing you can do to keep it running because you told the system you wanted to run for 5 days and it's obeying your instructions. So I always like to tell my clients, look, if you want to really push momentum, don't put an end date, so that at least if you're getting good momentum, you let the ads run. Now, obviously, this means they will run continuously. You have to have the responsibility of switching it off. So the clients that work with me, we then just switch it off once they tell us that, okay, they want to stop. So that's like the best tip I would give you guys, because here's the thing, right? Remember, this is an AI and it works on momentum. So just because you ran ads and you got momentum on the first campaign and then you try to replicate it again for the second one, you might not get the exact same momentum. So that's why I always like to tell my clients, if you're getting that momentum, don't stop. Do it whatever you can to put money into it. I don't care if you have to go and sell bread. I don't care if you have to sell your devices. If that ad is getting you mandates, if that ad is getting you buyers, why do you want it to stop? That's like me saying, why do you want me to stop printing money for you? Right? Doesn't make sense. So if it's working for you, do everything you can to keep it running. All right? Okay, cool. So now that we're going to launch on the 19th, and that's going to be at 6 o'clock in the morning, the next thing now is that we want to do location targeting. Yes, one of the most important parts. How could I almost forget about this? Cool. So in here, under audience, this is where we're going to be doing our targeting. So this is where I get a lot of questions from clients, like, how does this targeting option work? So if you see here under location, they're very sneaky, Facebook. You see they've actually hit it. But you see here it says location. If I hover around it, there's a pencil. Now, if I select that pencil, remember, guys, running an ad in Alberton. So we need to go and target Alberton. So the default will always be South Africa. And if you see there, for example, it's got South Africa. It's got the estimated audience size. That is definitely not the estimated audience size. Right? Let's type in Alberton. So this is my process of how I like to target. So I first like to type in the area name. So let's type in Alberton. Okay, there we go. And then I'll select the city. Now the default will always be 25 miles, right? But remember what we said. We want it to be 5 miles. So let's come down here and then let's zoom in. So if we're zooming in, you see now it's targeting Tembisa, it's got Randburg, it's already bought 25 is too wide. And then if I try to bring it down as low as possible, you see it's bringing it down to 10. That's always going to be the default if you're going to type in the area name. So what you then just want to do, and this is my hack, is you want to zoom in onto the map, and then I'll show you guys where you can find, where's Alberton? Okay, there's Alberton. Yeah, okay, there's Alberton. So we want to put a 5 mile radius on Alberton here. So what I'm just going to do, I'm going to select this drop-in option, click on that, and then click on the area. Now what it's going to do, it's going to select the area, and then you see those coordinates, that is my pin that I've dropped. But now the reason why is because when you drop a pin, you can then lower the radius. You see, now I can bring it down to a mile radius, or I can bring it up to 5. Remember I said I wanted to do 5, so we're just going to do 5. There we go. There's 5. So that's the radius. Okay, perfect. Great. That's the radius. So now, this is very important as well. Let's just quickly see here in a second. You can also add in the age. So let's say here, for example, 25 plus. So anyone who's 25 plus, who's in this particular area that I'm targeting, let's quickly find it again. Okay, there we go. So anyone who's 25 plus that lives in this area, right? Rich people living or recently this location will then see your ad, right? So that's the beauty around it. So now it's only going to target people who are within this radius. And of course you can go deeper, but again, it's entirely up to you in terms of what that option would then look like, okay? So that is exactly the process that you need to follow, and you can skip everything else. And now we're going to go to the fun part, which is creating the ad. But then just to quickly show you, step number 8 is we're now going to rename our ad and then upload the image, including the messaging. Are you guys all following along? Maybe just put a thumbs up just so I can make sure I haven't lost you guys. Okay, awesome. I know you guys, if you have, we'll cover questions afterwards. I think for me right now, it's just a case of helping. We've got an hour, so I want to make sure I cover as much as possible. So now, the next step is we need to rename the ad and upload the image. So let's go back here. Cool. So we've done all this amazing stuff. Now we're going to click next. Now that we've clicked next, it's then going to show us the ad side. So now this is where we can upload the ad image, we can upload the ad messaging, we can also create a form to qualify them. This is where all the fun stuff happens, right? So what am I going to call the ad name? Let's call it, oh yes, okay. So let's call it Ariel 1. So why I'm saying Ariel 1 is because that is going to be the style of ad that we're going to be running. So I like to name my ads what they typically look like. So what I'm actually going to be sharing with you guys today is the ads that have just been performing well this year so far, right? So these are ads with proof that they've just been crushing it for our clients. And I want to walk you through exactly how they look and the best way to actually replicate it in a nutshell, which is going to be an aerial shot. So cool. Select the ad name, and then we just want to make sure that's the actual Facebook page. If you have an Instagram account, you can actually connect it there. And then it's just going to log into your Instagram, and then you'll be able to log in. Make sure you know your details. But where we need to be uploading the image is, you see where it says ad setup and it says create ad. You then want to select single image or video, all right? So it knows exactly what you want to upload. And then we'll do the form afterwards. I think for now we just need to upload. So the best way to upload is, you see where it says add creative. You then want to select setup creative, and then you want to select image ad. Okay, cool. So now it's going to show us, so I think these are my, okay, so these are my videos that I do that I've uploaded, but we'll just ignore that for now. Remember, we still need to create an ad. So I'm going to walk you guys through in terms of the best way to create our winning ad so far, all right? So our winning ad is an aerial shot of a home, so of homes. So let's say I just did this for the sake of time, and I'll walk you through how you actually can do it. So step number 1, okay, to creating this best performing ad that's working well for all of our clients right now, the ones that you've been seeing by my emails, is I want you to type on Google, type in aerial shot of homes, and then enter your area. So you could say Midrand, you can say Cape Brackenfell in Cape Town, KZN, whichever area you're based in, okay? And then once you've done that, you see now it's going to show you aerial different shots of homes. So what I did, I just selected this one randomly, okay, and then I saved it. Now, what we're going to do, this is the hack, okay? Now that we've saved this image, we're then going to go on ChatGPT, and then we're going to ask GPT to replicate this image, but with our own flavor, right? Just a variation of it. Now, why do we want to do that? So that we're not stealing someone else's image, so we don't get filed for copyright claims. Right? So then we're going to go to GPT so that they can create our very own image, which looks very similar to this, for example, but it's not going to be anyone's property, right? Intellectual property. And how you do that is, let's go to ChatGPT. Very simple. All you just need to do, guys, upload the image, as you guys can see there, upload the image in ChatGPT, and then just type in, please create an aerial shot of homes for me similar to this. And then guess what GPT did? Boom. You see? So this was GPT, that's the image that it created for me. And then I sailed, I sailed it. Thinking about sales, guys. I saved it. As I want to say, I sold it. I saved it. So cool. Now that I've saved it, you then want to go onto Canva, all right? And then when you go onto Canva, you want to create a new design and then select Facebook post. This is the thing you want to select. Once you select Facebook post, I want you to come this side, and then you want to upload your image. So that's exactly what I did here. So I basically just took this image here, and then now I uploaded it here. So now let's get to the meat and potatoes. So this is the exact same wording and style and design that works very well for our clients. And I want you guys to follow the exact same process. Guys, these ads are killing it right now. So cool. First things first, we then want to add in a text. So you're going to select here, text, headline, title. Let me see the time. Shucks, time is moving. Okay, you're gonna have to move very quickly. So this is the, if you've been looking at my emails for the past 2 or 3 days, you'll see how I'm gonna do this. So I think it's called, what's it? Let me just quickly triple check here. What's your home worth? Yes. So let's type in here. What's your home worth? And add in your area. So we're gonna go, what's your home worth in Alberton? Okay, awesome. Now, I like to use League Spartan. I'll make it all caps. You need to follow everything step by step, guys. Don't be like, oh, let me try and add my own font. Follow everything step by step if you want the same results. Okay, cool. We're going to increase the size a bit. Now, what I just want to do is I want to go to Effects. So once you are done selecting the image, go to Effects. Once you go to Effects, select Background, and then boom, there we go. All right. So if you want to change the color, you can always come here and then maybe select, I think Edgar, the guy who got that 18 million rand valuation listing, he used the red one. I think it was a red and white. I'm not sure if I don't remember. But then yellow and black is one of our best combination. Okay, so cool. We've got that baby there. And then what I like to do as well, I like to go to this here, to the text, and then I want to just tighten the text a bit, right? The letter spacing. Okay, there we go. And then I'll just make it a little bit smaller. Okay, perfect. Now, what I want to do, I want to add in some shapes. So let's quickly add in a rectangle. So let's say you want to add in a rectangle. You just add that baby in there. And I want to do that, I want to create a search bar. I'm literally just recreating that ad that I've been showing you via email. Okay. And then I want to create corners on it. So I'm going to select here. Make it nice and round. Perfect. Now I want to add a search bar in a sense to make it look like it's a search bar. Add in a magnifying glass. We'll just select this baby here. And then we'll just flip it. Guys, just for sake of time, I'm going to move a bit quicker. Okay, there we go. There we go. Perfect. And I think we've got enter your address here, if I'm not mistaken. So I'll just duplicate this. Let's just delete that effect. None. Okay. Enter your address here. Okay. Okay, it's a bit big. Let's go 24. Nah, 28. Perfect. Now, here's what you can do. And this is like what we've been testing out. So before in the past, I would preach against adding in your face. But now, because we've been running ads where most of our clients' faces haven't been shown, normally now what we do is that we'll add a little bit of their face in it so that at least there's some trust, which is working really well now. Okay, for those of you guys like, I need to have my face in it. So I hope my clients don't kill me. Okay, so there's a client of mine. We'll just go background remover. Boom. We're going to add her in there. There, and then let's go edit. Let's add in, just to make it look nice. I'm literally replicating what I did for her, and she actually got a lot of appointments actually from this exact picture and this exact style. Okay, there we go. I think let's just put it at the back. There we go. Done, right? So now, even though I'm actually supposed to add my face, it's fine. We'll just add her there. Cool. So now we've got that image. So let's go back. Remember, guys, we need to go back to Facebook. So now we're going to come here. We're going to upload that image. So let us upload that image. I think it's on my desktop. Okay, there we go. Okay, we've got 20 minutes left. Let me just say 15. Cool. So now we've got that baby in there. So I'd select original to say that it shows there. Make sure it's original so that it pops up there, and make sure it's original so that it pops up there. You can check to see, but if it doesn't show the full ad, always keep it at original. Go next. Okay, so now we need to add in the primary text, the messaging, and this is the most important part because many agents don't really understand the dynamics or the mechanics of actually running ads. So I think I've probably tested close to about 2,000 different ad images over 8 years because we're trying to see what works to get people to click and what works to get people to respond. So this is what's working for us right now. So just for sake of time, I then just decided to grab it here. So this is the exact same messaging that we used for that lady that you saw there, Lesego. So cool. I literally just copied and pasted from her ad. So I'll just grab this there, and then we'll come back here and paste it, but we need to say some Alberton. There we go. So here's the ad. Here's the ad description. Some Alberton homeowners are selling confidently right now. Others are hesitating, losing the advantage. The difference isn't the house. It's timing, buyer demand, positioning. If you're planning to sell, this quick check will tell you if you're in a strong position, you should prepare first, or you should wait, check your selling position. So notice how this ad isn't, if you're looking to sell right now, contact me now. That doesn't work, guys. It's very direct. And many people don't want to feel like they're being sold to. So you want to then position it as a way of, hey, if you're planning to sell, this is the best option for you. So reach out to me so you can check to see if you're in a strong position, if you should prepare first, or if you should wait. But the purpose is now they're going to come to you because they're planning to sell and they're asking for what? Your expertise, your advice. And that is where you can advise them, right? Because even at that point, you don't even know if you'll be able to help them or not, right? So that's the key element. Now, the last step is we need to get that headline. So this is the exact same headline that we used for her. If we have time, I'll show you that exact ad, and you can also see the results for those who might be like, well, are you sure that's the actual one? Okay, there we go. All right, there we go. And then go next. And then after that, okay, don't add overlays, don't add visual touch-ups, no music, no text improvements, just switch all of that off, guys. So now what it's going to do, basically, it's going to show you what your ad would look like. For now, for sake of time, we're just going to go done. And then there you have it, guys. Here's the ad. Now, of course, my face is not there, but here's what it would look like. In fact, let me just go advanced preview. So this is what it would look like on someone's Facebook feed. This is what it would look like on someone's Instagram feed. When they're scrolling through people's stories, that's what it's going to look like. And the explore button, that's what it's going to look like. Now, for sake of time, I'm really just going to have to fly through this form. Okay, so let's go back. All right, cool. So now that we've renamed and included the messaging, we need to create the form. So I'm going to have to fly through this because I'm noticing that we are running out of time. So cool, let's go back here. Cool, so now that we've got the ad image there, one thing you want to do, make sure call to action. Yes, call to action always needs to be learn more. Very important, right? Don't use sign up, don't use get offer, always select learn more. Okay, now remember, we need to create a form because we need to then qualify these people, all right? So for those who don't know what a form looks like, let me actually zoom out. This is what the form looks like, right? This is what it then looks like. So we need to create this. So I'm literally gonna have to do this in the next 3 to 4 minutes. So let's quickly do this. Let's come back here. So how you do it, guys, it's also on the ad side. So you're gonna come here onto create form, and then you wanna name your form. So we'll call it seller form. And then you wanna select high intention so that at least what will happen is that now we can get leads to basically verify their phone number. Because some of my clients in the past would say, hey, these numbers aren't working. So now, if they're adding their phone number, it's going to send them a code to the phone just so that at least they can verify their phone number so you know that you're speaking to the person that you need to talk to, okay? And then always, always, always select optimized. No. Don't do that, actually. Sorry, my bad. Don't do flexible form delivery. That's bad. Can't explain now for time, but don't select that. Then go next. So under headline, you know what? Let's do this for sake of time, just so I can quickly get this in. I'm just going to quickly split there. Okay, cool. So thinking of, so under headline, this is what you're going to put here. Thinking of selling, discover your homes through value. Awesome. Our team provides personalized CMAs, because I know the evaluators will be pissed off that you're getting more business than them. Exactly what buyers would pay in today's market, not just a guess. Not just a guess, for instant CMA, for example. Okay, awesome. So now that we've got that there, we'll just quickly close that. I'm going to close this again. Okay, there we go. All right, so that's what it's going to look like. That's the intro. So now, I mean, obviously you can switch these on, but for now, we don't really use that for our clients. The next step is we want to ask them questions. So this is the next step, right? So we call it the lead filtering process. So now we can add a question. Want to select multiple choice, and then what's your reason for considering selling? Is that even the right English? I don't even know if I'm saying it properly. Considering selling. Hey. Okay, guys, just for time, we'll just leave that as is, just so you guys can get an idea. So then we can say relocating. So we're now giving them options. Let's say downsize. Let's say divorce. And then let's just say investment. Just as examples, guys, so you guys can actually see what that looks like, right? Now, we've got that. Now, if you want people to select multiple answers, they can, okay? If you want to make this question optional, you can, but we don't want to do that, right? So for the sake of time, I'll just create one, but you can create two. So here's what we can do. So you can say another multiple choice where you can ask them, how soon are you looking to sell, right? And then we can have ASAP, we can have 30 days, or within 30 days. Within 30 days, we can go 30 to 90 days. And then we can just say, let's say, just curious, as an example, right? Awesome. So now, this is what it would look like. So once they click on the ad, this is what's going to pop up. And then they'll select an option, relocating. And then when they go next, how soon are you looking to sell? As soon as possible. Great. Now we want to get the information. So, for example, we want to get their full name. We want to get their email, their phone number, and also their street address. That's very important. So you're going to come here to add category. Go to contact fields, select street address. Now we can get access to that. All right. And don't make them optional, because you make them optional, then people won't provide it. Okay, so that's exactly the step-by-step process that you need to follow if you then want to make sure that you get all the information. So to quickly recap, there we go. What's the reason for considering selling? They provide that information there. They select it. And then, let's go continue. Where's that option to move it? Okay, there we go. Then that's the next question. And then after that, they provide their contact information. And then they would need to verify their phone number. Once they verify their phone number, then they review the information where they slide to submit. And then the last step is, this is where, for example, you can say, expect a WhatsApp from me. A WhatsApp from me with more information. And then you can then just give them a little bit of more information over here. And then you can either add in your number, they can go to a website. Sometimes we'll add in their P24 link or their website link here, for example, and then you can add the link there, and then you can rename that, for example. So I'll just create that for now. Oh, okay, I need to add in a link. Okay, let's create the form. Let's see. Okay, you also need to let them know how you're going to use their data. So what we like to always say is that, where should we send this information? So we can say, where should we send this custom CMA? And then we need to add a privacy policy link. So if you are with the registered agency, just go to the registered agency's website, and then you'll typically find the privacy policy there. Just for sake of time, I'm just trying to go through everything, make sure this is A-okay. It seems like it is. Done. Okay, so now, when people now in the area in Alberton see the ad, right, and they click on this Learn More button, then this is what's going to pop up. Where's the form? Where's that form? I think it's here at the bottom. Okay, there we go. They'll fill out that form. They add in that. They provide the information. They confirm their number, and then they slide to submit, and then boom. And then this is where our system will then take that information and then say, hey, John, thank you so much for providing your information. Just wanted to confirm, is this your street address? Because remember, they had entered their street address here. So our system will get information from there and then ask them a question on WhatsApp immediately. So the minute they see here, for example, expect a WhatsApp from me with more information, the notification will then pop up on that lead's phone from me, hey, thank you so much for providing information, boom, boom, boom. And then the conversation starts. You set up the appointment, and then you do what you do best. All right. I hope that makes sense. And obviously, I just had to rush a bit just so that at least we don't go over time. I just wanted to respect everybody's time today. But that is the process, guys. Let me quickly come back here. Let's quickly zoom in. All right, cool. And there we go. So once you then created your form, then you can launch it, guys. This exact process, if you follow it step by step, will definitely help you get the results. Now, of course, if you're not using our backend system, so let me quickly show you what that looks like, right? So we've basically just done this whole entire process here. So what then our system will do is that it's going to grab all the leads information here, and then it's going to populate it into your own pipeline. So we then created CRM for our clients, and then we'll call it, so let's say, 2026 seller pipeline. And then all the leads will then populate on our client's CRM. And then it's going to showcase where they stay and also the reason for looking to sell. And then this is the system that we create in the back end. If you guys want me to cover it next week, I'll do it next week. So you see, we've got the first WhatsApp message. You see Facebook lead form. So what we do is we tell the system, okay, as soon as that person has provided the information from the Facebook lead form, we want you to send them the first WhatsApp message, which is this message here. And then you see it grabs the information from the lead form, and then this is the question that it asked them, and it happens automatically. So whether you're sleeping, whether you're busy with your kids, whether you are busy with the client, whether this is 2 a.m. in the morning, whether this is at 6 in the morning, whether this is at 10 a.m., whether you're attending a training, this is happening on autopilot. This WhatsApp message is being sent to everyone who saw your ad, okay, clicked on it, provided all the information, and now they're happy to talk to you. So that your core focus and your core job is just to have conversations with the leads that saw you on WhatsApp, set up the appointment, and then you're good to go. So for just an example, all right, this is the exact same ad. This exact same ad, just for privacy of my client, okay? She launched, I think, was it last week, Monday, all right? And then she's like to me, she has 2 appointments on the same day. She got about 23 leads. She asked us to switch it off because she's like, I'm so overwhelmed. So she told me, I spoke to her yesterday, she said she's got 4 appointments. And if you check out my Facebook or my Instagram stories, I just posted the video. We had a catch-up session yesterday, and she was doing those appointments yesterday. So I'll get feedback from her today. But this is the exact same ad, guys, that we created. Yeah. And then for this ad, you see where the guy's like, hey, I've got the hottest lead ever, properties worth 18 million. There's the ad again. It's just a different color. 81 leads, paying 10 Rand cost per lead. So he's paying 10 Rand for a seller who's interested in having a conversation with him in the areas that he's working. And he's working in a very high-end area or a couple of high-end areas in Cape Town. Okay, that is the process, guys. I hope it's made sense for everyone. And that's what I wanted to show you guys. I can see we've got a couple of minutes left. So if there's any questions, please feel free to pop it up. And then for those who want to find a way to work with me, I'll give you more options. But you know, something really inspired me this week. As I was watching a video from my mentor, Mr. John Trudeau, and he said something very powerful. Okay, which is, he calls it like the how badly do you want it drowning story. Okay, so he was saying that when he was young, this guy is like made a lot of millions, and he was saying, I was watching a video of his, and he was like, you know, many people like the idea of success. Many people like the idea of really growing, but how badly do you want it? Because many people want to close deals. Many people want to make money, but, you know, they're not really willing to commit to it. And he was explaining a story of how when he was young, he had an uncle of his who was very successful, and he would pester his uncle, saying to him, I want to become successful, I want to become successful, I want to become successful, teach me, teach me, teach me. Like he was just pestering his uncle. So one day they had a barbecue, right? And he was swimming with his uncle, and he was just pestering his uncle nonstop. And then he just said, literally, his uncle just took him and pushed him underwater, literally underwater. And you can imagine, shame, this poor boy, I think he said he was like 8, 9, 10 years old. He was like drowning, like he's underwater now, and he's trying to get some air. And of course, he's shocked. He's like, what is my uncle trying to do? And then after some time, uncle finally let him out. And he was saying that he actually even swallowed water. And his uncle was like to him, can you see how you are literally fighting, right, to get some air? And of course, John was just like in shock while he's trying to process everything. And he's like, yes, uncle. And then he's like, that's the thing about success. You can want it, but until you fighting as much as you can, right, the way that you did right now to get some air, success will always just be a concept to you. And the uncle was like to him, you have to commit to become successful. It's not just an idea. And that like really hit me, because it's like, damn, he's actually 100% right. Is because, you know, how many of you guys always say, oh, no, this year I want to close 10 deals, and then the year ends and then you're still back where you started? How many of you guys are like, oh, I want to close X amount of money, I want to make money this year, I want to kill it, I want to crush it, and then the same year, same thing happens over and over again? It's because, yeah, you like the idea of it, but you're not willing to commit yourself. You're not willing to really commit yourself, because unfortunately, if you're always going to delay, then that's not a commitment. No, that's fear. And if you want to become successful, it's either you commit and you have faith, or you have fear and you delay. And one thing that also hit me was, I was thinking about it the other day, and I was like, think about all these Nyaope kids, guys. Notice how these guys always find a way to get a fix. These guys, some way, somehow, always find a way to make money so that they can go and get a fix. Because to inject themselves with those drugs is not cheap, I'm pretty sure. And I'm sure drug dealers know exactly what they're doing. And it's not like they have jobs. Because Nyaope kids don't have jobs. They have nothing, right? But notice how they are so committed. They're so committed. They're willing to do anything just to get that fix. And it's going back to what my mentor's uncle said to him. Until you want success as badly as you want to breathe air, it will always be a fun idea. It will always just be something great for you. So I want to share this message with you guys, because I talk to a lot of you guys every day. And you guys tell me about your big dreams and what you want to achieve, but there's no commitment. It's always, oh, yeah, no, next month when my deal registers, I'm going to try this. Oh, no, you know what? Let me get some money first, and then 3 weeks later, I'm going to move forward. And 9 times out of 10, I never hear from you guys again, and that's okay. But then we'll talk again the next year, and you're still in the same position. So if that's been you guys, it's not because it's the economy or it's the government, or there's agents who are doing better than you, even though economy and government is doing whatever they're doing. Do you want to know what the difference is? It's because they're committed. They wanted success as badly as they wanted to breathe air. The same way that Nyaope boy does everything he can in his power to go and get a fix. He'll do anything just to get that fix. That is the exact same commitment you need to have. But if you're always going to delay, guys, unfortunately, you're going to be here watching my masterclasses over years and years and over again, thinking that maybe one day some miracle is going to come. It's not, guys. And I'm saying this with absolute love, but I also do need to give you guys a real world perspective. You have to be committed. And when you commit, you'd be so surprised what things happen afterwards, right? Anyways, we're going to tap into some questions if you guys have any questions. For those who want to work with me, if you want to find out more information about working with me, I've got different options. I don't mention it as much, but for those who do ask, I always like to say, we do have a do-it-for-you option. So that's where we will set it up for you. You work with us for full 6 months. This whole system is then taken care of for you. There's always going to be new ads running, new leads coming in, and making sure that it runs for you. That's at a 6-month perspective. We can definitely chat on WhatsApp if that's what you're keen for. Then I also do have a full day session. So this I mainly used to do for a lot of principals for their teams, but I'm also noticing some agents want that one-on-one. So if you're in Joburg and you want to maybe step in, we can go to my office, and then I can literally train you for a full day, and we can do your very own ads. By the time you leave, you've got your very own ad and system, and then I can consult you for a month on how to manage it yourself. We can also do a full day session regarding that. And then if maybe, let's say, for example, hey, look, Wandile, let's do a consult for now. Maybe try and help and assist me. What do I need to do? Give me some guidance. I try to set it up, or maybe show me 1, 2, 3 on what you need to do or what I need to do step by step. I'm also happy to do that for a 1-hour paid consult. So if you guys want to inquire about those, we just need to pop me a WhatsApp 068-626-8154. But I just wanted to show you guys everything. If not, hey guys, I should give you guys the full system, the full flow. Anyways, do you guys have any questions? I see we're definitely running out of time, but I'll open up some Q&A if anyone has any questions in the chat. Maybe put it in the chat if you guys have any questions. I'll wait for 2 minutes if there are any questions. If not, let me just quickly zoom in here. We can always chat on WhatsApp, by the way. Let me just zoom in. My number is right here. Any questions, guys? Was it fun? I hope it was fun, man. I hope you guys learned something new. This was a condensed version. I had to rush. But if you follow everything here step by step, you should be good to go. Okay, so I see, Rebecca, you've got your hand and you raised it twice. Let me try and see. Just unmute yourself, Rebecca. If you can. The sun is knocking me. Rebecca, if you're struggling to unmute yourself, then I'd highly suggest just pop me a WhatsApp then. I just want to be respectful of everyone's time. Okay, cool. Okay, Rebecca, I'd then say pop me a WhatsApp. I'll answer your question on WhatsApp. Okay, so Bevan, does this strategy work for any type of seller, irrespective of home value? So when you say any type of seller, do you also mean distressed sellers? Do you mean sellers from the commercial industry, sellers from industrial? Just so I'm on the same page. But that's typically the type of ads we like to run to attract residential sellers. That's typically just been the best method, commercial and residential. Okay, so for commercial, I've done a few commercial ads. Those ones are, so it'll be the same process, but the only difference is that we would have, let's say, for example, you are working in Sandton, right? And you're looking to get commercial stock in Sandton. Then we would basically, same process, but now instead of the residential homes, we'll use commercial buildings, which is very similar to Sandton. And then there, specifically, we would then speak to the market, which would either then be a landlord or a company that's actually owning that commercial property. And then we would then, in a similar way, or in a similar sense, create the very same messaging, but tailor it for that audience so that at least they're like, yes, I am actually looking to sell my commercial property. Let's have a conversation. Hope that makes sense. But that's a great question, Bevan. Okay, awesome, awesome. Any other questions, guys? Let's see what else we have in the room. Or was I clear? Unless you guys are shy. I feel like some of you guys are shy. I don't bite, guys, and I'm not AI, by the way. Let's see. Any questions, guys, or was it valuable? Everything made sense. I would then suggest, pop me a WhatsApp, guys, 068-626-8154. Let's see how we can work. And don't make 2026 another 2025, guys. I know a lot of you guys went through a lot last year, and I think it's pretty obvious that more effort is not going to work. We need to now have more systems. And I've been saying lately that the top agent in 2026 is not going to be the agent who works the most, but the best systemed agent, the agent who's got a system that's going to help them. So that's exactly what you want to do. So whether you work with me or you work with someone else or you build it yourself, it doesn't matter. I want you guys to start thinking different, start using different systems. So if maybe I was responsible to help you start thinking different, that's all that matters. If we work together, great. If not, and you want to find someone else, be my pleasure, guys. I'm pretty sure there's plenty of other people that you can work with if that's the case. Bevan, how effective is cold calling? It's really subjective, man. It all really depends on, I mean, I think I was speaking to, I think she left now, but I was chatting to a lady here who was on the call, and she was telling me that she's been cold calling, it's all she knows, and she hates it. And it's not because she can't talk to people, it's not because she doesn't get mandates from it, but it's because it takes a lot of energy and time and effort. where now she's looking for something different that could replace that. So it depends on, you know, what you deem as effective. If pushing in all those hours, calling just to get stock is worth it for you, go for it. But if you want to get stock without having to put that time, energy, and effort calling, then I would say utilize this. Some of my clients, what they do is they do both. They'll still cold call, but then they use the system as well. Because now they're getting stock from the cold calling, they're also getting stock from the AI, and then now they're doubling their results. So it all really depends in terms of what's your strategy, what works best for you. Yeah, Khomotso's like, yeah, I remember Khomotso, you were just like, nah, it's not for you. And yeah, guys, again, and this is what I also want to emphasize to everyone here is, guys, there's no one size fits all method. I'm pretty sure there's people in your agency that are killing it with cold calling. Yeah, that's what works for them, but that doesn't mean that that needs to work for you as well. There's no one size fits all approach, guys. There's people killing with cold calling, there's people killing it with door knocking, there's people killing it with what I'm doing, there's people killing it with whatever it is. What you just need to do is, what do you want to do? What feels more effective for you? What's more efficient for you? And don't believe what everyone else says. If someone's killing it at cold calling, of course they're going to disregard everything else because cold calling is working for them. So why are you going to go to someone who's cold calling like, oh, I'm going to use One Dealer system? Of course they're going to say, no, it doesn't work. You shouldn't be doing that. Cold calling is the best way to go, because that's all they know. So how can they know what's effective if that's all that they've done? So I always just say, guys, whatever you believe will work, it will work, but you have to believe it will work, and don't listen to anyone else but your gut. So if your gut is telling you, there must be something better, there must be something different, listen to it. That's what I did, and that's how I was able to build a system. Because I also used to cold call, and I hated it, and I was like, this is not for me, there has to be another way. And because I was like, there has to be another way, it's so miraculous how then I discovered online advertising. So the minute you believe, and the minute you're like, there must be something different, notice how that pops up. I'm pretty sure for some of you guys, my name popped up once you were like, nah, I can't cold call. And that's the first step. And then the second step is, now you have to believe that the direction that you're taking is going to work. So a lot of people are cold calling, going door knocking, they're going to shit on you. They go like, no, why are you doing that? You shouldn't be doing that. Don't listen to them, guys. Otherwise, guess what? Now you're not going to believe what they're saying. And then of course, what you're doing is not going to get any results, because now you have doubt. So it's very, very, very important, guys, to believe that anything is possible, any method works, but it's all on what do you want. And once you can answer that question, guys, everything else will start to populate for you. Anyways, guys, the sun is blasting me. I feel like I'm preheating in an oven right now. Let me just see. Khomotso, that's how I found you, One Dealer, because I was searching for better ways than cold calling because I can't. 100%, Khomotso. Yeah, there's many ways to go about it. Okay. I'm glad you guys got a lot of value. And, you know, before I become a well-done piece of steak, I'm going to move here. Let's chat on WhatsApp, guys, if you have any questions. I'll be back here again, same time next week. Invite your colleagues. If there's colleagues that are stubborn and they believe in one way, right, tell them to jump in. Tell them to attend these sessions. They're free, and I give away everything that I know. And I hope that this helps, guys. Anyways, peace and love. Have yourselves an amazing, 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 productive day, guys. I'll put the replay up on YouTube. Watch out for my email. Get as much value as you can, guys. Love you guys. Take care.